We're here. No one's here yet, but people have been coming in. I'm feeding my dog Bolo by hand. Welcome to the Monday night drop-in. I'm Peter. I'm Mobb Guppy. We're the Guppies, the Mob. Just had a pretty exciting dinner. Meatless chicken nuggets. Hey, Daryl Deemer's in the house. Valley Fish in the house. All right, so I had meatless. Bob, how are you? So I had meatless chicken leg nuggets, zucchini, yellow pepper. I did those all in a pan in the oven, and some brown rice. So that's good eating. Hey, Melvin's here. Alien World Aquatics is here. I went to this fish auction on Saturday, and I have not put together the footage yet. The footage, I think I can't use it all. It'd be like a 1 hour, 15-minute video. I don't want to cut it down to about 20 minutes maybe. Maybe a few more depending. BTW Aquatics, welcome to the live stream. Thank you guys for the likes. 7 people already here. I mean, it's a good thing. Melvin and Daryl and Valley Fish and Alien World Aquatics was #1 in the fish room, waiting for the chat, waiting for the action to go in. So I hope that Don Gallagher, how are you, buddy? So I hope you guys had a great Monday at the office. I got a lot done at the office. I was chugging away. I missed, sadly, Scott and Liz's King and Queen Cichlids thing last night. I was invited to a barbecue. And I'm new to town. I really don't know anybody. So you get invited somewhere, you pretty much have to go. So, even though you guys really are my family, it's, to interact with people. I did it on 2 days this weekend for something other than work. I went to the fish auction on Saturday. I went to this barbecue on Sunday. I'm invited to another barbecue this time on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. And the Traditional Aquarium Society, located, I don't know if it's run by Baptists or Church of Christ or something like that. I don't know what the name is all about. But they're having a tables sale on November 9th in Springfield. So so I'm pretty excited about doing that. Bolo's here. He's asking me to feed him by hand. I cut my finger. You can see a little bit. When I went to, Bolo wants to get down. All right. Okay, there we go. And by the way, my beverage of the evening, Diet. It's actually Sprite Zero. It's delicious. So I got home today. Don's at work cheating. Come on in, be with us. That's the way it should be. So I got home. I got 2 sets of guppies. When Doug Grace sent me the Roebuck Reds, he sent me an extra trio. So I separated them in different aquariums. And the second trio is kind of young. Well, I got home tonight. I'm feeding the fish, and I got fry. I've got fry in both Roebuck Red tanks. I'm swimming in Lumpy Dog. How are you? Yeah, you know what? If people are here, I'm starting a few minutes early. Why? I just I'm ready. I ate. I walked Bolo, even though I was feeding him by hand. I think it's better. Rob Bull's in the house. What's up? So and so yeah, it's all good. So yeah, so I got home. I have more fry in with the Roebuck Reds. I picked up today an extra gang valve because the gang valve I have on the lower tens, one of the valves isn't working, and if I turn it on, it shuts off the other things. So there's some sort of a crack in it. It's a plastic one. So I've got to install that. I may do that after the deal because one of the aquariums is does not have uh, the sponge filter sitting there, but it's not doing what it does. So I've got to get that done. So I've got that. I've got to hook that up, get that going, and I measured it out, by the way, and I can. Uh, I can set up another rack of fish tanks for more, because I'm like going to be loaded up with guppies. I need to set up probably 12 more 10-gallon aquariums for the guppies, which is fantastic. It's exactly what you want. But of course, I want to raise some up and eventually sell them online. Bring them to different things. Sort of what I want to do. So we'll go and do that. But I'm really enjoying it. I have lots of fry, and I probably need to start doing. Except I'm kind of scared to do it because I obviously the nutrition thing is going well, but more baby brine shrimp means better nutrition for the aquariums, so that's good. So we got a bunch of great people. We got 13 people in here. Fantastic. HC Agua, welcome. 7 likes. Thank you guys for the likes. If you didn't see my Sunday video, you'll want to check it out because I'm doing an unboxing from Michael's Fish Room, and Michael did something really nice for me. I got some. I have 3 original super red plecos, and I wanted different genetics, so I got 2 from Michael, and he included something. He included a pair of guppies, some red blonde cobra guppies, and they really are nice looking. They're very young, and they're I think they're from the Indonesia type thing, so they're not going to be as as big as uh, some of the guppies that are IFGA that are just monster huge. So it's all good. They're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm excited and can't wait to get that going on. Yes, Michael was nice, Lumpy Dog. He was great. He didn't need to do that. It was absolutely fantastic. So if you see the video, you'll go through an unboxing of how he does it. I will say this: normally when you go into the bags, people double bag, and usually there's some moisture involved. Not with Michael's. Michael's were completely dry. So, which I thought was great. In fact, I've ordered a lot of delivery stuff, and and normally there's a little moisture in pretty much everything. So this one had none, which was fantastic, except for in the bags. It was great. It was really good. So you'll want to check that out. Those the male is beginning to color up of the red blonde cobra. So it's kind of neat. And I can probably cross that into uh the Roebuck Reds to add a little vibrancy to both lines. So I'll probably do that at some point. But yeah, I need to put up another rack, and so it's I'm gonna have to get some aquariums to the dollar per gallon thing. Um, I'm gonna have to zip, I'll be in Springfield on the 9th, so I'll go in and I'll go to the Petco and pick up like 4 10 gallons. And so I'm not really after fish when I go to this event. I'm after more plants and I'm going to be after like Pleco caves, and if there's my arm could be twisted to purchase something. Yeah, I'll tell you. Don't worry. Lumpy, that's a great comment. No, I'll set it up in a completely different aquarium, and I'll just go and see what I get, and then and build on from there. So the Traditional Aquarium Club, Springfield, Missouri, they're having a table sale in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from Saturday. So I'm going to be going there. So I'm excited about that. And Fancy Tail Aquatics. And Fancy Tail. Here's the deal. Michael is, his line is he's going to say what he likes and what he doesn't like. So I will say this: he sent me a sample of, I think it was a kelp wafer from Northfin that he got from Super Cichlids, and I'm gonna have to order that. This is like now 3 different types of algae wafer type things that I have for my plecos, and also the Amica splendens like that as well. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, and that's the deal, HC Agua. It's I want to know that when I watch a channel, they're giving an honest review. And thanks, Don Gallagher. Yep, the likes are wonderful. Thank you. You want to know you're hearing the truth, and the one thing about especially for like pumps and for all these different things, foods, etc. What makes Michael really good on those things is that he isn't selling any of them, and he tells you what type of fish he's selling. He's he lays it out. He shows you how his setup is. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate his honesty. So that's pretty important. And and again, for people who are selling fish food or fish supplies, at some point I'm going to sell fish supplies. At some point, it's it'll be 2020. I have a couple of ideas I want to do. I'm not going to do food, but I'm going to sell stuff for in the aquarium that I can market on eBay and stuff like that. So I have a couple of ideas of things I want to do, but I just haven't done them yet. And I have to find a good importer. And unfortunately, the Chinese won't do business with me because I referred to Chairman Xi as looking like Winnie the Pooh. You see that with PewDiePie? He has been banned from China. Our buddy Raleigh with Fish Room Jamaica has asked me to do a video, and his question that he wants to have addressed, and I hope I'm not giving up. Yep, South Park reference, absolutely, Rob Bull. What he said was this, and I thought it was pretty important. I lost my train of thought. Hold on. I'll come. What was I talking about, people? I lost my train of thought. Oh, I want to sell stuff. I want to go through and do it in 2020. And I went to Alibaba. Alibaba now is said we're not allowed to do business with you because of the Winnie the Pooh reference. We're not doing anyone who's critical of the Chinese government. So that's the way it should be. So it's so I'm gonna have to have these built in Thailand. Loan me some Thailand. God bless those good people. Skull. How about those Vikings yesterday? They looked pretty good. Football yesterday was a lot of fun to watch. There's a lot of good games. It I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot tonight. The New York Jets and New England Patriots. The Jets are boo, Valley Fish, boo. What are you, like a Packer fan or something? Yeah, the Cardinals were something yesterday too. That was a heck of a game. Just now Melvin is saying boo. Yeah, the Steelers are not having a great year. Oh, Lions. Yeah. Yeah, it's and say again, I won't judge you unless you're a fan of the Packers. So it the idea here though that by the way, just going on the football thing for a second, the idea that the Steelers would be a Super Bowl bound team this year was highly improbable, primarily because they lost their two big offensive weapons. When you lose Le'Veon Bell and you lose AB, say what you want about either of those guys. I think Le'Veon's an okay guy. Obviously, AB has issues. Juju is a great player, but is he AB? No, he's really good. So yeah, so it's so Kyler Murray's the real deal. I think he's good. So getting back to the fish that I have going on, you'll see what I got in the video coming out Wednesday. But I'll tell you what I got some Java moss, which is really cool, and I got a Java moss lava rock feature that I put in my 55. So that's I'm really excited about that. I also, hey, not Nola Jane Fish Rich, thank you very much for the thumbs up. Welcome to the live stream, our Monday night drop in. So I'm calling the Monday night one the drop in, and I'm calling the Sunday one or the Saturday one the hangout. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. We're just doing it that way. So it's all good. Bolo's here. He's on the floor. He just ate out of my hand. I'm going to tell you something about my dog. Is that yesterday he wanted to play. So our little play routine is that I make him sit and heel, and I go to the other side of the house, and I call him and give him a treat when he gets there. Well, he has congestive heart failure. So he gets upstairs, he starts coughing out a lung, and then he just sits there. So I have to pick him up, carry him downstairs, and that's a good idea, Lumpy Dog. I don't know if I can do a Thursday one as well, but maybe I'll just do one of these other ones and call it Speakeasy, and I'll credit you. So no, it's all good. It's all good. I really appreciate that. That's a great idea. So yeah, I got some plans, but the lava rock feature is really good. Is that the bamboo fish tank? Is that the one that has the glass inside, like a bamboo encasing that's like built up like Lincoln logs, the best way, or a log cabin, best way to describe it? Have you made a video out of it? So I have it right. Okay, yeah, I've seen those. They're very cool. When I buy a house next year, I'll begin to do more display type of aquariums. Right now, it's just I'm leaving here in April, moving out of here, so I'm trying not to have too many things. Having it nice looking is not really a priority. When I get into the new place, It's all good. Oh, your premieres tonight at 10:30 Eastern time. Alien World Aquatics. Yeah, Fancy Tale. I'll tell you, Thursday is really a weird day, um, because at least for me, because my job Friday is the busiest day of the week, and Thursday I'm usually just trying to get ready for Friday. Sort of what I do. So I get home, I do junk around there. Chewy's in the house. Hey, Chewy, how are you? Glad you're here. So that's part of the deal that I have to, to get organized. And so Thursday is really difficult. Wednesday, you got Rob, uh, you have Dan's Fish, and those are two streams I always try to watch, at least part of them. Sunday night, King and Queen Cichlids. Sometimes I'll drop in on Susie Q, JH Aquatics. I heard that Aquafunk now has a live stream on Sunday, so I'll have to try to find that and take that in. But I try to get in as many as humanly possible. Love Haley, love LRB. The deal is Lucas is, he's a night owl, and I'm up really early. In fact, today I slept in. My dog wakes me up to go for the walk, and I set the alarm just to make sure I get up in time. Today he didn't wake me up. It was 5:30 a.m. when I got up because you got to get downstairs. You got to be at the office before 8. You got to make a pot of coffee, make a little breakfast. You got to feed the fish. Sometimes I feed them. I do two real small feedings in the morning. And so, I try to feed the fish 4 to 6 times a day. And I easily do 4. So, like today, I just fed once, though, this morning. And at lunch, I did the baby brine shrimp feeding. When I got home from work, boy, about an hour and a half ago, gave him the feeding. I'll give him another feeding here before bedtime. And so, right after. Thanks, Melvin. Thank you very much. That's good. So I appreciate knowing that. So I'll have to, and right now NFL season sort of is in my wheelhouse. And I actually didn't have to go to like a sports bar to watch the Vikings and Lions. The Motor City Kitties and the Purple People Eaters were live on TV right here. So I was in the living room with hanging out with Bolo, enjoying. I even made some popcorn because it was great. And well, good, Chewy. That it sounds like good. Sounds like a lot of fun. And I think that sounds. Again, I'm all about different. Uh, Different is what makes the world go around. I hope my videos and content is different. It separates itself from the other folks doing it. It doesn't make me better or worse than anyone else. It's just unique, and that's what I think we all have to strive for. And so that's what I try to do. I just try to tell things from my point of view and go from there. Uh, I am ready for winter. I can't wait. And hey, Rob 93 Aquatics, we were just talking about you, about your live stream, which I always try to make. I always try to drop in. So welcome to the Monday night drop in right here on the Mobb Guppy channel. See you, Rob Bull. Thanks for dropping in, brother. It's late in Aussie land. Man, I'll tell you what. I've had a troll who attacks me for supporting the fish fam. He calls himself Dr. Ted, and it's his thumbnail is of him as Ted from from the movie The Teddy Bear. So there you go. Yes, a troll makes is that you've made it. Absolutely, Rob. And again, a troll is good. Troll's absolutely good. So it's a good group indeed. It's so weird is that I didn't block this guy. I didn't separate him from doing posting on my stuff. If he doesn't like me, as long as he's using family friendly language, I don't care. I just don't care if they like me or not. It's bring it on. Bring on the hate. It's all good. Hey Bolo, you want to come up? Hold on. Come on, Bolo. Ah, there he is. So it's yeah, I don't get it. I won't say who this is, but it's it's not a real popular fish channel. I've never done anything bad to the guy whatsoever. Um, we were actually Facebook friends, and for whatever reason, the guy's blocked me. If I comment, I was on a live stream he did a couple of weeks ago, and hey, how are you? And Bob Kaler was there. I said hi to Bob. No response, nothing. So I went to my other account and noticed that, yeah, I was silenced. And I have no idea why. I have none. So I don't quit. I don't quite. And so again, I don't quite get it. So it's and I haven't even criticized him on any of his videos. I mean, just thumbs up, salt and light. I have no idea. 0.0. So again, I wrote an email to his private email address saying, "Hey, I don't know what happened, but I apologize. Didn't mean if I offended you. Didn't mean to offend you. Didn't hear a word back. No idea. Somebody I used to exchange a lot of notes with. Don't get it. You're right. Maybe he is a big supporter of the Chinese leader. Very well could be. Yeah, no, I let it go too, but it's just it just it's just weird. That's the deal. It's weird. So again, if people don't like my videos, they say something in my deal, I'm going to leave that up. I don't care. It's I'm all about freedom of expression. So if you don't like something, or if you think something's wrong, or you disagree with, who's disagreed with me on a lot of stuff, but he's always been real respectful. He's in this live chat right now. Chewy. Chewy has written stuff saying, "I don't like what you're doing there. I disagree. You shouldn't do it that way." That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Hey, so it's putting in a video for Mom. That's good. Not Nola Jane. That's good. And hey, you see, there's a good idea, Alien. Troll your own account. It's great. So it's all good. So yeah, I don't quite get. My deal is more the merrier. Um, I may do something that you learn from. You may point something out to me that I didn't know, and I'm making a mistake. Fine. That's why we do this. We do this not as an ego thing. we do this, and we do this in a way to learn and to share experiences. I look at this at what I'm doing here as a chronicle of what I do in my fish room. Yeah, an opinion backed up by logic. I can deal with Mob Guppy. Yeah, you see, there you go. And again, there's a lot of stuff in the fish hobby, um, that you can do a little bit differently from other people, and it works really well. And sometimes there are things that, and yeah, isn't that weird, Bob? The other day, Bob was on my live stream. Bob was being so kind and putting up links to everybody's channel so that they could get more subs. Which again, I want everyone here to sub to each other. If you've not subbed to each other, please do. I'm all about supporting the fish fan. That's why we do this. I learn more from everybody and from stuff that from the different channels, different perspectives. So, oh yeah, here's what I was talking about earlier when I lost my train of thought. Raleigh with Fish Keeping Jamaica, who's a great guy, by the way. It's another channel you should subscribe to. He asked me to do a video on, when people keep fish, is there a difference between cultures and races, religions, etc.? And I'm going to give you my answer here, but I'll record something up. And my line is no, but I'll preface it this way: is that people, um, if you look at, for instance, China, which kept and developed all these great goldfish, and the love of goldfish in Asia is obviously a cultural thing. Um, Guppies, obviously, in many parts of Asia are huge, a huge deal, and they are great with them. The folks that just pay so much attention to it. Um, and I think some of the American fish keepers, like Scott and Liz, of King and Queen Cichlids. Well, Scott keeps all these gigantic fish, including arowana. And trust me, I love me some arowana. It's my dream aquarium, by the way. Yeah, no, you're totally right, Chewy. A lot of a lot of the Asian cultures, because it's just there are several cultures in Asia: the Philippines, Indonesia, the Samoan culture, really sort of an Asian culture, the Chinese, the Koreans, the Vietnamese, um, Cambodians. Um, these folks are water cultures, where my culture, my background, except for the Scandinavians, which have sort of a water culture thing, are sort of farmers, landlocked sort of folk, and it's just sort of the culture that goes in with that. So when you're dealing with these folks that come from water cultures, um, there's a lot of different things that go with it. And by the way, Bolo, for whatever reason, is trying to make. Oh, he has a piece of food that he lifted up and he put on my shorts. And why? He's 12 years old. He's funny. Hey, little boy, are you a good puppy? Huh? Yeah. So again, yes, Bolo is sharing. Absolutely. Here he is. Come on. Hey, little boy, are you a good little boy? Yeah. Lay down. So yeah, he's funny. He's a funny little dog. So and I will tell you something about a Pomeranian is that unlike most of the small, hey, Reels in the house, how are you? Unlike most of the toy breeds, um, Pomeranians were developed originally as a working dog, and they were bigger. They were like a 35, 40-pound dog. And they did one of the things they did is that they were herding dogs, sort of like a collie, sort of like that type of thing, that they would be herding sheep. Well, he has that very much a natural instinct. It's last night. I normally go to bed because I get up early for work. I normally go to bed about 9:30. Aquafunk in the house. We've been talking about your live stream. Plug it, plug it, plug it, plug it. Everybody should go in. So, so he literally last night. It's bedtime. He's barking at me. I carry his food upstairs. He gets up, goes into the corner. Not another thing out of him all night. So that's sort of the way of the world. So a Pomeranian, they're little herding dogs. Are you hungry, little boy? Okay, you want me to feed you like an iguana? No? So yeah, so he's pretty funny. Uh 12 years old, everybody. And he has pretty good energy. So there you go. So yeah, so I'm kind of pumped up about going to the table sale at the Traditional Aquarium Club. Make sure I have that name right. Let me shoot up Facebook just for a second here. Bolo. Yeah, Traditional Aquarium Club, Springfield, Missouri. And fall swap meet is going to be Saturday, November 9th, 1 p.m. I'll be there. I'll be there looking for pleco caves and plants, and so that's essentially what I'm going to do there. Hey, Mr. Bolo, what? You want to get down? Come here. Oh. So he's barking at me. So now this is what I'm doing, and as you can see, he's very happy. Oh, Pleco Paradise has nice caves. I'll have to take a look at that, and I'll have to take a look at that. And I have not looked at Pleco Paradise. What? You want to get down? You thirsty? Here we go. Ah. I took him out right before the live stream, so I don't think he needs to go to the bathroom. Yeah, I love boxing. Absolutely love boxing. Yep, Aquafunk. I do. It's I like football, boxing, fish. I like music. Type of music I like is classical, jazz, punk rock, some metal. I like music that's raw. Um, so it's just yeah. So I love boxing, and no, do you know what's funny is I don't keep bettas. You think that somebody who loves boxing would have bettas? No, I don't have bettas. Primarily because I'm scared of them. And here's why I'm scared of them. I'm scared that I would be setting up tables all over the place with 1-gallon jars. And all I'd be doing is working with them all day long. Bettas are amazing. and they are it's and the people that keep them and breed them, breeding them seems like it would be a challenge. I would love to give it a shot, but I'm just scared I'd have 500 jars all over the place. Hey, Bob. Bolo says hi back. I put him down. He went and drank water. Now he's laying on the floor over here, and he'll come back and want to be picked up here in a few minutes. See, he lets me know what he wants. He's not spoiled. He's just demanding. Oh, here he is. Okay, come on. He went and scratched my leg, which is usually the high sign that he wants to come up. Come on. Let's see here. Let me get a toy. 1 second. Let's go like. There you go. So again, I don't know what's the deal with him. He's funny. Yes. Hey, I think that Ruiz. I think if he just keeps doing what he does, and he hasn't spent time being heavyweight champion on training on broads and booze and partying, I think he'll beat Anthony Joshua the way it goes in. I'll tell you why. Is that Anthony Joshua is not an aggressive fighter. Hey, New York Gold, how are you? And so that's sort of the deal. He's like this guy. If you're gonna build what a boxer should look like, it would be Anthony Joshua. Big, good-looking guy, muscled up. I mean, really in great shape. But that doesn't necessarily do well in boxing. You have to have a killer instinct. You have to be aggressive, etc. Oh, you have two bettas now, Bob? Yeah. What? What? I'm on a live stream. We can't go anywhere. I need you to eat. Eat something. See, this is yeah, well, bettas can provide anxiety, that's for sure, for many reasons. And they're just gorgeous. And I have sort of played around and I haven't done it, joining the international the International Betta Congress. Wilder beats Ruiz, Aquafunk. Wilder's the real deal. I mean, he knows what he does. He punches really hard. He's also really fast, which I think that would be the problem for Anthony Joseph with Wilder as well. The speed thing now, would Ruiz's speed get to him? I don't know. But he's been up against some pretty good fighters, and he hits like a freaking Mack truck. So, yeah. So Bolo has decided, by the way, yeah, totally, that he wants to be fed like an iguana. And so this is how spoiled my dog is. If you want to know how spoiled my fish are, just see what I'm doing here. It's I'm nuts. I'm bonkers. I have nothing else going on. I'm freshly divorced. I moved to a new town. I know really no one. It's all good. Ambest Aquatics, how are you? Did I miss you before? So I bought fish from Ambest. That's a good place to buy fish, and so that's good. And I bought things from Sergeant Tank. I've purchased things from Aquarium Co-op. I've purchased stuff, obviously, from Michaels, Doug Gray. Super cichlids. What else have I purchased from? It's oh, you've been lurking? No problem. Again, no reason. I don't force people to participate. Hey, JN Aquarium, welcome. Hey guys, 11 here, ladies and gentlemen. 11 here, 16 likes. Thank you guys so much for all the likes. I really appreciate it. And it's really helpful to get to the next level with the channel. Now, what's the goal of my channel? Just to share what's going on with my fish experience, and the good, the bad, the ugly, and that's all. That's why I'm here. Not here to be. I'm not the smartest guy in the hobby. I'm not the greatest expert. I have expertise, and I like learning from everybody here. So that's the deal. And yeah, do you know what? I had an aquarium with gobies in it once. This 20 some years ago. I loved them. But I can't do gobies in my big tank right now because I have shrimp in there. I have shrimp, and I have and the shrimp. The females are carrying a lot of eggs, so I'm gonna have a bunch of baby shrimp here, I think, fairly soon, which is really exciting, and which is really important to go out and get the fish and the shrimp, and breeding and the plants growing shows that you have things going on. I will tell you, the water here in Joplin is so much better than Little Rock. Little Rock water had almost no minerals to it at all. You had to add stuff. I did the crushed coral thing, which worked really well. But I will tell you that it works much better now that I'm in a place with hard water. So that's pretty much an effective deal. And so yeah, the fish are just doing, they're doing just great. So it's and of course, the deal is that with fish, um it's always getting the best stock you can get, especially if you have an interest in, like I do with the guppies, breeding guppies, or if it's with bettas, or if it's with rainbow fish, whatever it is spend the extra money on because you're going to be much happier long run. Is spend the extra money in getting really good stock. Get the best stock you can get, and trust me, that you'll be so much better. It's it just it's the whole deal. And yeah, well, Melvin, with your nerves and anxiety stuff, sometimes you have to. I think all of us are nervous about the fish that we keep, and that's really, really important. Hey, Tampa Tom, great having you here. Thanks for joining in. Bolo wanted to get down again. So this is he'll be back in a few minutes. So that's the most important thing, is get the best stock you can get. Get the best stock you can get, whatever fish you want to find. And especially if you have a thing where you want to breed them and you want to play with it, get the best you can get. To get the best you can afford. With the guppies, it's IFGA. I do that mainly not because IFGA guys are so much better. It's just there's a lot of people around who are very serious with it, and you can learn about the hobby through it. You can learn about, because some of these people have 150 aquariums. they're very serious in what they do. Really important. Really, really important. So it's so you can learn from them. Some of the Asian strains, they don't get quite as big and they're not quite as set up as an IFGA. There's nothing wrong with them, by the way. They're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But it's just, and now that I have a strain of Asian guppies and I'm going to be working with them, I'm pretty excited about the whole process. And it's angelfish, getting the best stock you can get, whatever it is. It's always helps. It always goes out and helps your experience. The deal is with the guppies that I have. Well, I have 3 strains that come from the absolute best show lines in the country. And why did I get those? Well, mainly because I know they're purebred. I also know that I'll be able to help improve them with the traits I want to get. And when you have generation after generation, the Roebuck Reds I got from Doug Gray, or the 2 different swordtail, 2 different swordtail strains I got from Alan Bias. These are like bulletproof. These are top of the top. So it's fun to work with, and so that's sort of the so hopefully that'll be going in. Now I have so much fry with these swordtails. It's and I have to start separating them up, and people not breeding for quality have never seen a wholesale list. Well, that's probably true. It and by the way, I'm not critical of anybody who does it a little bit differently than I do. That's fine. It's just for me is that it's better to do it that way, and because you end up being happier long run. It's because you're able to go out and you have a goal. Someone was asking me a while ago. They said, "Hey, I got a couple of different strains of guppies, and the fries coming out, and some of them are looking good." And they asked me, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, what are your goals?" And she goes, "Well, I just want to see what I get." I said, "Well, that's pick a goal. So you breed 2 different fish, 2 different guppies, and your idea is to get certain strengths, certain traits. Now you may be surprised and get something completely different that's really cool, and then you can breed around that. That happens, but I think you should always be looking at, okay, let's go get these traits. Let's go out and do this. And if you have an idea of what your goal is, it's a much better deal. So with with the guppies that I have that I'm working with, it's the deal is with them is that my Roebuck Reds or Deltas, I want them to look a certain way and look like the IFGA deal. I want to have them gain some size, and I want to have a couple of different lines of those. And with the swordtail, Anthony's Fishy Friends, hey, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. 12 people here, 16 likes. Thank you guys so much for all the likes. And on my Wednesday video that will come out more than likely during your workday, you will be able to see what the fish auction I went to and see some of the neat stuff from there. So I took a lot of footage. Wow, 18 likes. Holy capoli, guys. Thank you. I did all sorts of different footage, and I was sort of hoping again for a long fin super red. They had long fin albino and citrus. I don't know if I was necessarily really interested in that. I just want to do the reds. And yeah, I don't do any veggie feeding to my guppies, Lumpy. Here's what I do: is I have the Doug Gray food, his high protein food, which is great. I feed that once or twice a day. I have the Cobalt Ultra Guppy pellet, and I have the North Fin fry food. And hey, Pam, how are you? 54 Punchy in the house. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Having a guppy the size of an arowana, I think if you go with the International Fancy Guppy Association crew, that's what they're after. That's what they're after. They're after those giant guppies. So it's all good. Man, we got a lot of great people here today. Look at this. Chat's going along real nice. So, so the table sale that I'll be going to in a couple of weeks, hopefully I can get that a couple of long fin super reds. That would be my lone fish purchase. Unless they had, I probably would take a few more Coriodoris Aeneas just to add to my collection. I have 9. Why couldn't I have 15? I think that would be kind of cool. So that's sort of what I'm up there, and in Pleco caves. But I'm going to look at Pleco Paradise as suggested, and see if I can find something, and go right from there. So let's see what else is going on. I don't know. I've got to do some water changes. The 55 is overdue. I got to get that done. I probably won't do it today. I'll probably do that tomorrow night as I'm loading up my my video is rendering. I'll change out some water and just go in right from there. I drip acclimated the knee, and I didn't really drip at Anthony's fishy friends. Here's what I did, because I did during my lunch hour. Um, I went, I loaded that into my specimen container. I poured about a half a cup of water on top of it. I allowed that to sit for a while. I put another half cup. Then I drained a bunch of that water off. Then I added, half cup at a time, loaded it up, did it again, and got them to where they were real close in temperature to what was going on in the aquarium. Then I set them loose. It worked just fine. Everybody seemed happy. So that's how I did it. But I've seen the drip things. Jadron Aquatics it was showing how he does his drip acclimation, and it was more involved than I wanted to get. I'm sure it works really well, but it was just more than what I. Yep. I sorry for the yawning. In my little world, is that you can overplay that stuff. It's so that's sort of what was I going in. I'm sorry you had the flu, Pam. That's terrible. I gotta get the flu shot, and I've got to get. Maybe I'll go do that tomorrow. So it's going on from there. So so I think I'm gonna end up having to set up 9, or 12 more 10-gallon aquariums, and because I'm just gonna have so many guppies here, which is great, and I want to play around with coming up with my own strain a little bit. So it's I have an idea that I want to do. So we'll play around and see what's going on from there. Because the most important thing is being able to go out and have some fun and try something new. I'm an amateur geneticist. I love genetics. I love the idea. Um, I love the idea of finding those traits and doing all that different stuff. I really enjoy it, and that's part of what makes guppies fun to work with. Betas, same type of thing, but with betas is that guppies you can come up with a real set strain. With betas, I don't know if you actually get there or not. I could be wrong, but I think that's I think that the way those things set up just seems to me be a little different. All right, gang, I'm yawning. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Mob Guppy, where the guppy is the mob. I have a dog that wants to go for a walk, and I've got to stop yawning. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys being a part of the mob. Join the mob today if you haven't subscribed. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate the likes.